guys, it's Kat, and today I'm going to be showing you my affordable pregnancy makeup routine, and I think that's what I'm going to title this. This is probably going to be a long video, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I've already washed my face, moisturized, did my normal skincare routine, and got my hair out of my face, and I washed my hands. Ignore my horrible nails. I try to avoid using nail polish remover, so when my nails start to chip as far as nail polish, it's kind of gross. Do you see how red my face gets? Apparently I'm getting too warm. Hopefully this will help. So the next thing I'm going to do is use this First Base primer spray from NYX. I don't know if this really does anything. I just don't feel like using a heavier primer today just because I'm not doing anything wild. However, what I do like to use as a facial primer is the Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm, the sensitive one. And I just kind of take a little bit of that on the back of my hand and dab it in. And it works really well to get your makeup to last long. I try to avoid using pore filling primers because although it makes my pores look nice, it clogs them too. The next thing I'm going to use is this NYX HD concealer in 06 CW06 Glow. I don't know. I know that I have a few drugstore concealers I like. I like the Maybelline Age Rewind, but they don't have it in a light enough shade for me. And then I also like the Maybelline Fit Me, but mine got gross, so I just kind of threw it out, and I already had this one. Plus I had some high-end ones that I typically go to anyways. I really like the Naked Skin concealer and the Tarte Shape Tape. I'll be honest, the Tarte Shape Tape, it gets a little too heavy for my liking. But other than that, I think that is such a good deal because even though it's like more expensive, you get more bang for your buck, if you know what I mean. Plus it also kind of doubles as a foundation. I mean, I wouldn't like try to apply it as foundation, but you can get away with wearing just the Tarte Shape Tape and look really good with it on. But since this is supposed to be an affordable makeup routine, I'm gonna use this one. I feel like that's a little yellowy. Whatever. I don't know if this is my perfect shade, to be honest. I just don't care. That's actually why I'm doing this first, is because I didn't know if it was gonna match me right. So I'm just putting it in the basic places to brighten up the face and cover up any redness, or attempt to. I really like the natural touch it kind of has to it as far as formula and like how it wears on the skin. I tend to have oilier skin, but with pregnancy it's kind of been hit or miss and closer to combination or normal. So if that gives you any idea. It's definitely not a full coverage concealer, which like I said is not what I was going for, but it does a nice natural look, I would say. I'm also going to use this as my eyeshadow primer. My eyebrows are a little rough right now because I'm trying to grow them out. They're wild. I think it still does a really good job of covering up the redness, or at least like toning it down without looking like heavy or cakey. Now that all that concealer is blended out, I'm gonna go in with the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. And then I'm just gonna dab this in underneath the eyes. Put it on the T-zone because that's where I got a little oily. I messed up. I didn't use foundation. Actually, since I kind of messed up with that, I'm just going to tell you what I would use. And I'm liking the way my skin's looking just as is. Because honestly, with pregnancy, I get really lazy and I just don't want to take off my makeup. And I also don't like stuff too heavy because I take naps and then it gets all bleh. And so this more natural coverage is gonna work a little bit better for me today anyways. Okay, so for foundation, what I would typically use as far as drugstore would be the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, or the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, or the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This is too light for me right now. This is too dark. I was gonna mix the two, but since I decided to not think that throwing powder right down already, we're just not going to use foundation today. And that honestly happens a lot. A lot of the times I do just use concealer because I cover up the redness and then I'm good to go, because I just sometimes don't feel like wearing a full face of makeup. Actually, that happens more often than me using foundation. But I don't wear makeup all that much being pregnant because I'm just so tired. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is the Real Techniques sponge. I am like a die-hard fan of this. I like this better than the Beauty Blender. But I do love the Beauty Blender. I just like the way this works better. I think it's also because it's cheaper, so like maybe that messes with my head a little bit. So I'm next gonna use the Real Techniques brush in, what brush is this? The contour brush. And I'm gonna take the Maybelline Fit Me powder in 120. It's the matte and poreless powder. And I'm kind of just gonna wiggle the brush in there and like gently set my face, very lightly though. Just try to cover up any redness and like even it out because I'm not wearing foundation. I also use that to completely set my eyelids, that way my eyeshadow will go on well. And then as an extra step, just to make sure that's all set in, because that is a lot of powder and I didn't use much primer, you know, or any actual like primer besides that spray. I'm just gonna take my Beauty Blender. This is not a Beauty Blender. I'll take my Real Techniques sponge and just kind of press it in. And another tip I have is if you are getting kind of cakey or like the powder's just being weird, I think the MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime spray, I think that's what it's called. The one that's like, I don't know, everyone talks about it. In that little bottle, well actually there's a big bottle and a little bottle with like the black top and like the spray thing. I love it. I have the travel size and the regular size and I've had that for over a year and I just don't use a ton of it, and so it lasts a long time. So even though that's not necessarily affordable, if you get the smaller version, the travel size, I think that could last a while if you use it wisely. And I also use the e.l.f. mist, I think it's called Mist and Set, and that also works real nicely. Not as well, but it helps for some of the things that you could be using that for, or just using whatever setting spray you have. So the next thing I'm going to use is this Wet n Wild brush, and I don't really know what it's called. I think it's like the contour one, but I mean that's what I'm using it for. And then I'm going to use Physician Formula's Butter Bronzer in Light Bronzer. And this works nicely as a bronzer and contour. So in reality, I probably could use this too instead of redoing it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that because why not? I used to use this brush for literally everything. Like everything. Like I would put my foundation on with it and then use it for powder and everything. And then not clean it in between. I don't know how I did it. Ooh, look at them cheekbones. Okay, I actually really like the way that I applied it because sometimes I feel like this applies it too lightly and I have to like build it up a lot, but like I like that. I'm gonna try to make this forehead look more like a nicer forehead. I just have like an awkward shaped forehead. I used to think I had a 5 head, but like I don't. I think I just have like a small, I'm just a small person, so like my forehead doesn't really match my body, but it's still a forehead. I remember in middle school when someone said I had a 5 head, and I just didn't even understand. I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, you have a big forehead. And I was like, how dare you? Because I'm pretty sure it was a guy that said it. And then after that, I was insecure about my forehead. And now I'm like, it's a forehead. Get over it. I'm still weird about taking selfies to this day because of that comment. Plus, I think my forehead can look weird in photos. And like, especially this Samsung, the way it makes my face look with like, it almost looks like it drags out my forehead. I don't even know how to explain it. So this would definitely look better if I did have an actual foundation on. So like regret, but like don't regret because I don't care that much. I mean, this is supposed to be realistic and like realistically that's what I do. I don't know how to do the whole jaw contour thing. I like do it, but I don't know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. This is a really nice powder for buildable and it's quite forgiving. So you know, you could just apply this stuff everywhere. I want to try to do some nose contour with this. I act like I know what I'm doing. I watched millions and millions of videos on these. I don't know why I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I used to know what I was doing and like, my knowledge just left me. Now I'm gonna go back in with my beauty, if I call this a beauty blender one more time, I'm gonna go back in with my sponge and I'm gonna just kind of press this stuff in to make sure it's all blended in and I don't have some weird orange lines. I also want to give an honorable mention to these. It's the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blends Natural Radiance Bronzer in 30 Sunkissed. It's kind of got like, I don't know if you can tell, but the 4 different things, and you kind of just swirl your brush in it. I'm not going to use it because I didn't put on foundation, and it can also come off as a little orangey, so I would need more of a tan. I'm a little too pale right now, but I really loved it last summer when I did have a little bit more of a tan. What's next? We're going to go ahead and do the eyeshadow. Give my face a little breaky break. So sometimes I'll just take my bronzer and like swirl that in the crease and call it good, or all over my eye, really, just not towards the inner corner, and then like pop on some highlight. But I'm actually going to do a little bit more of an eyeshadow look since it didn't work out so well for me to do my face makeup. So since my eyes are already set, I can go in with a transition shade and just go. So I usually use this brush. It's the Morphe E22. If I could only have one brush in my life, it would be this. I love this brush so much. I have 2. But I also really like the Wet n Wild brush. It's not the same thing. It's not even close to the same thing, really. But it's kind of similar, and it has the same general effect. It's not as good as my Morphe one, but I wanted to give an alternative option. I use this one more for if I was just gonna pop the bronzer on rather than this, because this, I think it builds up a little more, and it really is for blending, whereas this could be like heavy blender, subtle blender. That's just the way I find that they work for me. But since I'm going to do a heavier transition shade, we'll use the heavier blender. Next, I'm gonna go into the Sonia Kashuk eyeshadow palette. It's Eye on Neutral Matte 02 Eye Culture. It's a little dirty. I love this palette. It literally has like all the mattes you could possibly need. The only thing I wish is that it did have one shimmer, because like I could take this with me anywhere and then like have to bring a shimmer shade. But I use the L'Oreal Infallible shadows for the shimmer shade. I can't think of what it's called. I think it's like Vanilla Bean, or no, the Vanilla Bean's the matte one. Iced Latte, maybe? Yeah, sure. Or whatever highlight I bring with me. So I'm actually gonna go into this Mittel Brown shade right here for my transition shade. Tap that excess off. And I'm just gonna take this into my crease area and start blending that in. So now that I got that nice transition down, I'm going to use my Eco Tools, which these are like my go-to brushes with that Morphe one, wherever I put it. Like these right here are my go-to eyeshadow brushes. This is literally all that I need. All that I need. I have everything in one here. I'm surprised I even own any other brushes besides these. So I'm going to take the Eco Tools one. This is like the blending one. I've used this to the point where there's no names on it anymore. I think they call it a smudge brush down here. And then this one is a shader brush and has the like eyeliner angle. I think they call it an angled brush. That would make sense. And I'm going to go in with this like kind of mocha brown shade right here to deepen up the crease. Now that I got that going on, I'm just gonna go back in with the Morphe brush and I'm gonna blend that all out without adding any more product. Just kind of take whatever's on it. And then next, I'm gonna go in with this middle shade right here. And I'm going to apply this right on the inner eyelid, right in the center of the eyelid. And then I'm gonna gently bring this into the inner corner of my eye. Then do the last blend of all of it. And the next step is the highlight for it. So I'm obsessed with highlight, so I'm gonna give you a whole lot of options. If you're looking for a like goldeny highlight, the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Gold Bar is amazing. Today I'm not really going for that gold look, so we're not gonna be messing with that. Then another by Wet n Wild is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals. This is beautiful. It kind of has a pinky gold undertone to it, almost like a peach too. Depends on the lighting. I love it, but again, I'm not really going for that gold today. I wanted to give you a lot of options though. So then my absolute favorite, if I could only have one highlighter, including like probably the high-end ones, I would go with this Physicians Formula Shimmer Strip in Warm Nude. And I think they're supposed to be eyeshadows. Or they're supposed to be, I don't know if they're supposed to be highlighters or eyeshadows. or just shimmer. Either way, I really love this. I use all these as eyeshadows too, like the bronzy ones. If I'm going for a more bronze look, I probably will go into this, and then I use this as my highlight and blush topper because I mix the pinky shades with these top shades. You also can get gold. I mean, it's just amazing. I love it so much. I don't know how I haven't worn this down more because I literally use this all the time. Oh, and then lastly, I actually really like this palette for the mirror on it too. But it's the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. I thought about using this shade today. I rarely use this orange shade just because it's not really one for me. I really like this mauve shade if I'm going for a pinkier look and want a pinkier highlight for the inner corner. And then this yellow one is beautiful. And honestly, I would say it's pretty comparable to the yellow one right here. It's actually lighter. Ooh, that gave me an idea. Okay, so I'm actually not going to use this, and I am going to use this one just because I don't use it all that much. I just like the way that applies. These can be kind of glittery. Not bad, but just like a very subtle glitter compared to that. I just really like the look of those ones. So the next thing is a brush to apply your inner corner highlight. I really love the Morphe E36 to do that with. I think it's like a pencil brush, I believe. But you can also use the e.l.f. eye crease brush, and it's a little bigger, as you can see. So you have to be a little more careful with it, but it works really well. I just wanted to give you another option in case you don't like ordering things, because I'm a person that's like, I don't really like ordering things, because I don't know, not a big online shopper, or I prefer to not, even though I end up online shopping quite often. Oh, and I wanted to give this one a little honorable mention too. Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and I use this usually to set my eyes, just like with the all over like nude shade as a base for the rest of my eyeshadow after primer. So that way the stuff will blend out and doesn't stick too bad. Because I haven't worked with this one a whole lot, I am gonna use the Morphe one. So I'm just going to apply this to my inner corner, slightly onto the inner corner of my eyelid too. I think that worked really well to brighten it up. I'm now going to take that light shade right here in the middle and use the smudge brush on the Eco Tools and apply that right under my eyebrows to give them a little oomph. So I'm not gonna do my other eye, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. My brows look a little bold, but they are actually more on the natural side, so I really don't know why they're coming up so bold. Maybe it's just because I don't have a lot of brows and then I like put them on. I don't know. But to do my brows, I use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in taupe, and then to set them, I use the Maybelline Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara in soft brown. Because even though I don't have a lot of brow hairs, they can get real out of place real quick and real easily. So I, a lot of the times, will just use the brow gel just to kind of set them in place so it's not like hairs everywhere. And then I added a little more highlight on the inner corner and under the brow bone. Then to finish off the face, I'm going to use the Butter Blush by Physicians Formula in Natural Glow. I believe it's the lightest one. And I'm using this as a blush topper, and highlight all in one. I don't think that's enough highlight for my liking. So I'm gonna go back in with that e.l.f. shade. That is not the brush I use for highlighting, but we're just gonna apply it because I don't want to waste the product. For highlighting, I'm going to use the Maybelline All Over Blending Brush. I love this for highlight. I love it so much. But if you're looking for a different option, and I think it's a cheaper option, the Wet n Wild brush that kind of looks like this. This isn't a Wet n Wild, but there is a Wet n Wild one that looks like this. I think it's like a, I think they call it a concealer brush. I'm not for sure, but that works real nicely too. I just prefer this one. And just pop it right on the cheeks. I apply a little bit more right there. Tips of the nose, Cupid's bow, put whatever excess on my chin. A little bit right there. And down the nose. Then we're gonna take the sponge again and we're gonna take this flat side, just press that in. Which brings me to my last step for the face. And I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set Makeup Extender Setting Spray. I'm almost out of it, so I'm actually going to use my Urban Decay one. It's the all-nighter makeup setting spray because I have like 2 bottles of this and I'm almost out of this. We is done with the face. So I have 3 eyeliners here, eye pencils, and they're all the Rimmel London Scandal Eyes. I have them in 001, which is black, 003, which is brown, and 005, which is nude. I'm not going to use the black or the nude because I actually will usually use those together and put the black on the top of my water, like my lash line, to try to blend either lashes in or eyeliner. And then I'll use the white or the nude to like brighten up right in here and kind of like blend the rest together because sometimes a little bit will like run down. But for drugstore, they're probably my favorite eye pencil, or the NYX one. I am going to use the brown and kind of apply it to the back corners of both my lower lash line and upper lash line. Ooh, I lied. We're gonna go back in with the blending brush and go into the transition shade and apply that to my lower lash line. Can't believe I forgot that. Okay, that toned down the eyeliner a little bit. I did not mean to go that heavy with the eyeliner. So if I was planning on doing top eyeliner, which I am not, I would use the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum in Ultra Black. Not any of the others, specifically Ultra Black. I actually love it so much. I have 4 of them. And I think it's because like a lot of them are like, I'm pretty sure almost all of them are like half to 3/4 dried out. And then I also really like the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Tip Eyeliner in black. And I just use this if I need to get like right in the inner corner or like really tight to the lash line, but I'm not even doing the eyeliner today because I just don't feel like it. So the next thing is mascara. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes and then I'm going to use the Essence, the False Lash Mascara, Extreme Volume Curl. This can be kind of flaky, but like I'm not looking for it to last all day and I wanna be able to take it off tonight. I really love the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Sometimes. There's times where it can make my lashes look a little spidery and the formula gets kind of gross pretty quick, but it works really well if you're wanting it to last because this thing is hard to get off with makeup remover. So, oh, it's the waterproof one too, that's why. But I only use the waterproof one because if I'm wanting it to last, I'm wanting it to last. And then my go-to to fix any mascara mistakes, or if I'm trying to separate the lashes or add a little bit more color, or whatever I'm trying to do, is the Clump Crusher. This is by CoverGirl by Lash Blast. Ooh, we got something in my eye because it's all pink right there. Do you see that? I'm just gonna finish up the look and hope that it gets better, and if not, I will be taking this off real quick. This is the Revlon eyelash curler, and I can't find one that's better than it, that's not like super expensive. Actually, I even tried investing in a Tweezerman one, and apparently I just got the wrong one, but it was like a pink one, and it just was horrible. The e.l.f. one just did not work for me at all, so I have 2 of the Revlon ones because I love them. Okay, there we go. I'm satisfied. I think there's a few spots that I'm gonna have to touch up, and to do that, I use, this is an Eco Tools eye brush, and I kind of just like, I think it's for eyebrows. I don't know if it's specifically for eyebrows. Lash and brow. I'm assuming this is for lashes, but like, you think my lashes fit in there? No. And I use this kind of to just brush away once the mascara dries. Kind of brush it away. And I also have some Q-tips that I'll use. My eyes look super irritated, and I don't think it's in the products. I think it's whatever I did to it because I use these products all the time and have no issues. So I obviously did something wrong. So we're gonna finish up with some lippy lip products, and I'm gonna have to take this off. I really like Maybelline and L'Oreal lip products, so I really recommend them. Same with the Milani ones. So like these are Maybelline, L'Oreal, Milani. So I think I'm just gonna line my lips, apply a little bit of this, and then put this lip gloss on top. I don't overline because I'm just not skilled enough to make that even. I didn't even tell you what these colors were called. The lip liner is the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in 04, all natural. This kind of had more of an orangier undertone to it, an orangier pink. Peach, I believe, would be what I was looking for as far as my wording. And then the Milani lipstick in Matte Naked, it's the number 61, which was more pink, and I applied that right on top, blended it all together with my lips like, and I think it looks nice. I actually am not gonna go crazy and add a lipstick, and then like later on, instead of applying more lipstick, I would just apply a lip gloss over top of it. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 8-Hour Pro Gloss in 105 Petal. This is just really nice as in on top of anything gloss. So this is the final look. I usually try to go with just a more natural glowy look to bring out the beauty in me, you know. I don't have much of a fun look for pregnancy just because, I don't know, I just have been enjoying a natural beauty and a very glowy look. That's partially because it's summertime, but I think either way, like even in the winter, I preferred more of a glowy look. I just was really liking it. Now if it was fall, that'd probably be a different situation. I'd probably go with a more vampy, orangey look, but any other time of the year, definitely a more natural glowy look. Fall, I'd probably still go with the glowy face because, I don't know, I just feel like with pregnancy, glowy, like, you know. Oh, if you wonder what was going on with my hair, I got this Princess Leia look going on. I actually really like this look on people, and it's my go-to lazy look. So I think it gets you weird looks, then it's a little goofy, but I think it looks so cute. The little space buns, I don't know, I just love them. I love the look on people, most people. It's got to be fitting for the personality, because if it's not, I feel like it's like, what's going on with that compared to you? But I feel like this is just a very me thing. I hope you enjoyed. I don't really post makeup on here, but I figured it'd be cool to do a pregnancy version. Bye!